And also, I truly believe that that brown dwarf star is down at the southern hemisphere. But we're going to be able to see this huge celestial Nibiru object that's up there in the northern hemisphere as well, because we get to see Orion's belt every night. Again, though, they spray the skies at night time so we don't catch anything that's going on up there. But again, as well, I just want to point something out as well, and I hope that a lot of you in the UK and many parts of the world have noticed that the moon was very red, like a blood moon. Here on this screen as well, you can see this red tinge in the skies. Where's the blue skies gone, you say? And may I ask? All we're seeing now is this haze and this red reflection from Nibiru, Wormwood, the Frightener, whatever you want to call it. It's out there. And we just need to get people to understand this. The members of the public that are walking around have still got their heads down. I see them every day. When I'm at work, they come into my work, and I respect every single person that comes into my work. But again, they just are locked into a situation where they believe everything the media say. So again, this red haze in the sky is so evident. So when you see these red skies, look at the night skies, and hopefully you'll see some strange objects up there, some heavenly bodies, and also you will see these comets that come into our Earth's atmosphere, making these huge, light, bright, spectacular images. I mean, the thing is, when these comets come through into the atmosphere, they basically cause a lot of trash that gets pulled in behind them as well. Now, there is lots of amount of trash that's being pulled by the Nibiru system right now. And there's, again, another large asteroid that's coming through. Now, we didn't, as I said before, have many of these asteroids. And a lot of trash is being pulled. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of space weather problems up there now as well. They just don't want us to acknowledge this. They don't want us to notice it. And they just want to cover everybody's eyes with these sad chemtrails, the ones that are harming everybody. Again, there's more ambulances that come out in the evening that go to people that are basically feeling very ill and unwell all the time. Here, and also on this screen, you can see that on the skyline cam, this is in Italy, you can see these chemtrails up in the skies. See the natural clouding that's above the mountains, and also you can see those chems spraying dead thickly through the skies. And again, I believe fully that HAARP is in use of this. They are using HAARP, and they're using CERN. Everything's all been hushed up now. The public are not to know about this. We get small amounts of spoon-fed information, and that is it. Everything else gets covered up all the time, because it's now in the hands of the government and the military to hide what's going on. So we just carry on every day, and we're in deep trouble, because first of all, we're being poisoned by these toxins and barium and aluminium up in the skies, and secondly, we're getting a huge magnetic pull off this system that's incoming as well. It's affecting us, affecting everything on the Earth. And on another image, you will see that the snow is drying up. Everything is drying up now, because we've got the sun that's really seriously affected by this now. And we've got the binary twin as well, Nemesis, that's also sending flares and heating up the situation. Everything is heating up. So I urge you all, please, again, it's so important. It's not hard. It's important to prepare for this. Here on this Barcelona cam, this is in Spain, you can now see this dark shadow again in the skies. Now this is what I'm really seriously on about. We're not seeing no heavenly body, but we're seeing this dark patch in the sky. And as we come closer to the northern hemisphere summertime period, we're going to see this as well. So it's going to be some interesting times to take a lot of images of the skies. Because over there in Barcelona and in Spain and other parts of the world, they're seeing these dark patches in the sky, and I believe Russia is seeing these as well. Because Russia as well is a very good point of view to catch heavenly bodies as well. Now everything had shifted in the past. Thousands of years ago, I mean, we've had 4 to 5 pole shifts. and everything now is somewhere else. And again, it's going to happen again. It really is so important. This is a natural event, and it happens, and it occurs every time when these huge objects pass our Earth. Now, these shadows on this screen proves that there is something that's there. Now, the Death Star, the binary twin, is a huge object, and also Nibiru is a large celestial body. And these shadows are proving that these objects are up there. And again, I'm just going to keep an eye on the cams. Now, another thing as well, my equipment, my laptop, had a problem with it. So I'm using another device right now to still get these messages out there. So I'm going to try and sort that out. It's getting sorted out for me now, so I'll be back on track soon with the other device to pick up information as well. But I know that you're all keeping safe and well, and you're just watching the channels, and it's so good that we're trying to just to get all the messages out there for others to see this as well. Because nighttime viewing in the skies as well is so important. And again, it's persistent to keep looking up to the stars in the skies, because you will see some strange going ons up there as well. Again, as I said earlier on, I mean, this cam, it's too red. Can you see on the land and on the horizon? You can see that redness. There's not much to see on the cams today. It's very cloudy and very chemmy up there as well. So they've chemtrailed again the whole of the globe. A lot of the skies have been blacked off with these chemtrails. The sun is just very dim again. So when they do heavily chemtrail, they're hiding things, because if they didn't chemtrail today, I believe that we'll see it again. And many others, many of the public and people, subscribers that are sending messages in, they have seen this. Now, this cam as well is very interesting, because only a few months back it was very snowy, and things are drying up. And I mean, the grass, the land is too dry. It just looks unwell, doesn't it? With this cloud, this lower clouding, this is what we're getting every day, you see. Now today again, as I said, just too bleak and cloudy, not catching much. But I'll do another video and see what we can find in the night skies. But again, it's just preparing for this event, preparing for everything that's coming, because we will see these objects. We really will see those heavenly bodies up in the skies. So again, I got a kind subscriber from Hampshire, and this guy had turned around and said that he had seen these heavenly bodies, and I've got some images in, and I will produce these on another video for you. And they are absolutely outstanding, what they're doing up there as well. And also, these chem pilots, they're just making themselves ill by carrying on doing this. We just get fed some really short information on media, don't we? We don't get any true information. It's all false flagging event information, and we need to acknowledge this for ourselves. Now, here on this cam as well, you can see, I mean, it's very cloudy, it's very bleaky, chemtraily as well, but you can see this yellow sky colouring up there in the skies. And this is on a Barcelona cam in Spain. I mean, look how bleak it is, and we're getting this all over the place. Now, as I said before, it's April, okay? And we normally get April showers here in the UK, northeast, and I mean all over the northern hemisphere we get April showers, but we've got none. We haven't had any April showers. Now, again, we've got strange weather. I mean, one day it's very, very sunny. It's like the summertime. The temperature rises very high. The next day it drops very, very low. There's still no rain or no snow. And it's just with the jet stream. The jet stream is slowing right down. Now, I looked at the chart till 4:30 AM in the morning, watching that jet stream, and it's just still doing nothing. It's not protecting anybody. It's just the weather patterns are just up the wall with this whole situation. And we just see those chems all the time, don't we? This is what they're hoping that will save the planet. And it's not going to, is it? Just a few little chems. I mean, I think the government they don't realise how big this celestial object is. I mean, it's huge. Look on this cam as well. This is an Italian cam. And you can see here there on the screen, those chems and the haze. Now this isn't our natural skies. I mean, look at the green colouring in the back behind that. Now there will be another heavenly body there on the horizon. And that simulator as well, that's up there as well. And the land is too dark. For 1 PM in the afternoon on that webcam, it's too dark. We've never seen this darkness before. And I've had thousands of people that have sent messages saying the same thing, that their skies have changed and it's far too dark. It really is through the daytime. And most of these kind, respected subscribers are an age of like 50 and 60 that have seen the skies, seen the patterns of the skies through the past years, and they have seen bright skies in April showers and dark fluffy clouds and normal clouds here and thunderstorms. I mean, that's healthy weather for here, but now we're just getting these spate of natural clouds that have been burnt away, and also these chemtrails. I mean, they're very unnatural. And also here with the farming as well, the crops are not as good as they were before. They don't look healthy enough as before. Now here also on this cam as well is at 10 AM in the morning, and you can see, can't you, on this Italian cam here as well, that you can see, look at the tree on the top left, it's not grown properly, and also the reflection, this pink reflection off the building, and also the very, very blowy, very windy, and the sand, and you can see that red reflection as well, those red reflections on those chemtrail clouds, and the simulator that's coming up on there. I mean, it's all unhealthy. I mean, this is what it's like now, isn't it? It's not like a summer postcard you would send somebody for a holiday. I mean, it's now all going downhill now, isn't it? So again, I'm going to do another video, but I'm going to try and get my equipment sorted out so I can get some back on track. But I'm doing it like this at the moment, just to try and get the information out there. But I mean, everybody really needs to prepare for this. I'm just still surprised that the president and also the government haven't disclosed this to the members of public, because they don't care, do they? They just don't care about us, humanity. They just care about themselves. So I'm going to go now, and I'll be back again this evening with another video, an update. And please, kind respect to all of you, and please prepare for this event that's heading our way now, because everything is changing right round us. I mean, I see it every day now. People are changing, and the weather patterns are changing, and the skies are coming out with these bizarre colours all the time, and these huge reflections.
Good evening, it's Matt Rogers, and it's now 6:42 PM on the 5th of the 6th, 2017. And I just want to say that there is so much going on up there in the skies now, and so much that's happening around us now. Every single day I'm seeing it now. I'm 40 odd years old now, and I've started to become very much aware of my surroundings and very much aware of what's going on. And I mean, there's people now that are just a lot of people out there for themselves. There's also a lot of greed, a lot of enviness, a lot of jealousy. If someone's got something better, then others will talk behind their back. And it's just so unfair, isn't it? I mean, this world that we are all living on, this celestial body, the earth, we should be all respecting each other and have love for one another and be proud of what we got and just enjoy our lives. Not bickering and arguing and getting very angry and stressed, because the negativity will just harm us, making it worse. I mean, we need to be honest with ourselves and just reach out to others that need help, because I see it every day. I really do. I mean, I went shopping the other day and I noticed a lady fell over, and a couple of people started laughing and thought it was funny. I mean, that's so unfair because of a medical condition. So I helped her get up off the floor, and asked if she was okay, and she said thank you for that. It's just little things, isn't it? I mean, there's a guy opposite me, he left his lights on in his car. He's an older chap, and I knocked on his door and said, hey, your lights have been left on. I didn't want to see him struggle in the night time or whatever. So what I did is I got in the jump leads because the car wouldn't start, and it fired up and that, and just little things, isn't it? And it makes you feel better when you do things like this, you know? It's just the littlest things, isn't it? And again, when I look at the sky, I've seen much of differences up there. You can see the moon is different. You can see the sun has changed colour. It's much more whiter. You can see those where they're spraying chemtrails to hide those objects up there as well. And you can see other colours. I mean, it's getting to a point now, I believe, that this rapture is heading our way now. I really believe this, that something is just around the corner, and we're all going to see it. Billions of people are going to see this. And I just hope that people get it right. I really hope that many people now will hopefully get it right, because we're all going to be going soon. I don't know when, I don't know the date, but I believe that we're all going to be seeing this. So I respect every single one of you and send my love out to you, and I just want people to understand that there is something going on, there really is. I saw a halo last year up on the northeast of the sky. It was a red halo, like a rainbow effect, and I produced this on video. Something told me inside me, Matthew, get up and go to the back window. And I just felt I used my initiative and my instinct to go out and look at the back, and I noticed it, and I was shocked to see that, so I put it on video. It was on my last channel, and I believe that many of you have seen that video. It was there. It really was. And I look out at the sky and video the sky, and there's objects that are moving past the sun as well. There is things up there, and again, it's just trying to get that positive frequency out there to many people, get that frequency going, because we really need to be close to our loved ones and strong for each other as well. As I've said before as well, when this happens, please stay in. It's gonna happen, isn't it? Because the powers to be know something is gonna happen. They just won't give out the information to us, brothers and sisters out there in the world. They need to, but they just don't want to. And God, Jesus, they're screaming at us. They're trying to attract our attention, to show you these colours in the skies, these blue reflections and these red reflections, and these heavenly bodies that are passing our sun, that are eclipsing our sun now. We've got that huge eclipse on the 21st of August 2017 in a couple of months' time, and I believe we're going to see something. So please keep your eyes up there to the skies with this situation. I'm just becoming very aware of this now as well. I mean, you can see that there is a whole lot going on up there above us now. And I'm going to go and check some webcams now with you. So, yeah, I just thought I'd just send that message out to you, because I'm seeing this, and I know that many and nearly all of you now are seeing the same thing. So respect to you all, and let's have a look at some cams. This is a Ustream NASA cam, and it's a live cam now. And I spoke to other people through email that this sun, this object, is reflecting this yellowy colour, okay? And other people, the southwest hemisphere, are seeing this colouring in the skies. I'm having emails about this as well, that people are seeing this right now. I mean, it's just so evident, isn't it? I mean, also as well, when viewing these NASA images, you can see that the sun flashes. You get this flashing. And I believe again that these huge flares are coming down towards our Earth all the time. The natural clouds have disappeared now. I mean, this is all part of the rapture. I believe this. This is all part of the end times. We're coming to the end now, because we can see all these colours. But again, I got no idea of a date or anything like that, but I know it's a build-up now, because last year it wasn't as bad, but the colours now and the reflections are getting much stronger. And I also believe, again, as I've said this before, that the International Space Station isn't manned, because when you look at the SOHO cams, you can see all that trash. All them comets and asteroids and bits of meteorites, everything is being spun around there, up there in the skies now, up in space. It's just getting to a point now that also we're not getting so many reports now of asteroids. Now there will be large chunks of rock that move across the sky at night time, but they don't report it as much now, to stop mass panic, to stop the mass of the world of people, the population, to not get worried about this. They just don't want anybody to know what's going on. I mean, you can see those creamy chemtrails, them toxins up there being sprayed all the time. And as this is happening, humanity is being affected by this as well. I mean, there's a lot of hatred, a lot of evilness going on in the world now. Even here in the UK, there's problems with terrorism. I mean, it's starting to build up now, isn't it? And government here in the UK are still turning half a blind eye on the situation. I mean, it's supposed to have stopped a long time ago, but they're still continuing. This is still continuing now. It's been going on far too long. Every time I hear it on news media, sometimes I put on the radio in the car, and I worry sometimes, thinking, what's happened next? Is it happened next? Is it happened now? And then I'd put the radio on and something else has happened. It's happened again. I mean, it's got to stop, isn't it? There's a lot of evilness in our world. We, again, have to protect our loved ones and our families. Because just in another couple of weeks or so, it's going to happen again, isn't it? Something else is going to happen again. I mean, there's no stopping the situation. It has to. We've somehow got to bring our respect and love together and our strength to stop this, because we can do this. But as many as still believe in the media channels and still believe in the government and just carrying on, pumping their pockets with our taxpayers' money. I mean, again, you can see the flashing on the screen. I mean, these colours are real images from the NASA Ustream cam, and it's just so clear now that things have completely changed. And I'm going to go and try some other different cams to view the skies now, so again, respect to all of you, and we'll see what we can find. Okay, this is España, Tenerife cam, okay, and you can see clearly where they've chemtrailed. Over there with the sun behind. I mean, the whole lot is changed now, isn't it? It's very dark as well for the time of the day, and they've spoiled the skies. The beautiful skies are missing, and you can see where they've put them poisons up there and everything. And again, we're seeing a lot of different reflections, okay, and the blue sky is now a grey haze. Because the military, the powers to be, want to hide the truth of what's coming. They don't want people to see with their own eyes of what's going on up there in the skies. Again, on the land, the trees don't look very healthy. I mean, it's getting to a point now, isn't it, that people, again, on the land, they need to wake up to this. They need to realise now. And look round, just look around. Just take time to look around and see that the changes are here. As again, there's a lot of negativity out there, and we want to change that to positive behaviour, to positive thoughts. Because all around us now, we are breathing in these chemtrails, and we're seeing that the plant life are descending. Animals just don't want to go out anymore, because it's far too hot. It's unbearable. So again, I'm going to go and try another cam. This is another beautiful part of Italy. Okay, it's called the Storico Galapia cam, and you can see what they're doing up there, and also the changes of the skies are so evident, isn't it? They're trying to hide what's coming. They've been doing this for years, and you can see that there's two objects behind those chems, the reflections. And all the time, people on the land that's driving about and walking around, and they just believe in the media. And I really just want to urge and speak out for them people to make them understand that there is something that they're hiding out there. And we all know that those heavenly bodies are here now in our system, and those red reflections and the reflection from the binary twin, the sun's companion, is with us as well. And wormwood, it's been spoken about in the Bible for, I mean, all the evidence is around us now, isn't it? It is all around us. The sea levels are rising. The air we breathe in now is not fresh anymore. It's now chems that we're breathing in. And I noticed that a lot of people that I've known for years don't look as well as they did before. Because we're now breathing unnatural air. I mean, this is a very spectacular image that you see here, but you can see that light source coming up to the skies. It's now happening. This whole situation is now becoming a lot stronger. The vision is coming a lot stronger. So again, I urge people to prepare for this event, because we're seeing it now, aren't we? I'm going to go to another image and show you now. This cam as well, the Italian cam, and this is another part of the another cam not far from the other cam. So you can see those red reflections, can't you? And again, the whole situation has changed. More of this cheming that's going on up there, and I'm seeing it every day here where I am, and you're seeing it too, aren't you? I mean, we're all seeing the same skies all the time. People getting very when they do spray the skies, I've noticed as well, when they spray very close, I see people getting very stressed with one another. I mean, is this part of what's going on? Arguing and screaming out and stuff and what have you. Get very stressed when these chem planes are spraying the skies. I mean, it's affecting us, isn't it? It's affecting our brains and our control. I mean, harming everything, isn't it? I mean, you can see here on the screen to the right hand side, they're still spraying the skies. And last night I noticed the moon was very blue, and there is something out there in space that's reflecting off the moon and the sun that's making it very blue. And I believe that this huge celestial body that's blue, that's reflecting on everything right now. And they chemtrailed the moon. Again, they were spraying like they are on the corner of the screen now on the right hand side towards the sun, the area. I mean, why spray the moon? Because again, in the past, they always say, look at them, moon, sun and stars, for the messages, for the signs. The signs are in the sun, moon and stars. And they are spraying these celestial objects right now, so we can't see what's going on. So it's very important to keep an eye and see if you can catch a glimpse of what's going on, because it's very important, because they're not just normal contrails and normal aeroplanes that go on holidays for people and destinations, business trips and things. They don't just go around spraying the moon. It's very unusual for them to do that. So again, the military are doing this. The powers to be have told them to do this to hide the signs, to hide what's going on. And we all know that Nibiru is part of this situation. We all know that Nibiru is heading in. We see those pinky red skies all the time, those reflections. And it's going to cause a huge pole shift. I mean, our Mother Earth is 4,500,000,000 years old. I mean, it's a very old celestial body that we're living on right now. And it's so evident in the past that the poles have shifted. I've said this time and time again. And the proof is out there. And many billions, as I said, of people are going to see this. They really will see this. There is going to be an event, and I urge everybody, please, to prepare for this. And be strong, because if you get negativity off other people that are out there now, don't be bitter about it. Just be strong and just think, hopefully, that they will survive. Just think, okay, you know, you're doing what you're doing. Just feel love for them. Just feel that at the end of the day, they need to wake up, don't they? Okay, they're in their world of their TV media, it's a situation, isn't it? But time will cure them, I hope. I just hope that people and more people will wake up to this huge situation. I really do. And that's stay positive. The word positive means a lot to me. Because as I said before, that I look at people, that people are drains and radiators. Because a negative person will try and drain all your energy, but you need to put a mental block up towards that. And a radiator is somebody that gives you positive energy. They radiate positive energy around you, and you can tell that straight away. It only takes a split second to know that someone's positive, and you feel calm within yourself, don't you? But with a negative person, you need to put a block to it, because once they see you can put a block to it, then they will back off. But if they can see that they're sucking the energy out of you, they will just keep going and going and going and going. So that's just be positive. And we can see what's going on out there, can't we? And we know it's not long now. It's not long, because these celestial objects are knocking on our door now. They really are very close now. Here again on this other cam that's in Italy, you can see, okay, that there's an object that's illuminating to the top, right to the top middle screen, and then you've got the sun setting to the right hand side. But you can see again those chems and the pink reflections in the skies from Nibiru. I mean, this pink reflection is coming a lot stronger. And if you really take note of this image, it is, like they say, calm before the storm. It looks very, very calm right now. Too calm for comfort, isn't it? And again, it's a situation, isn't it, that the what I call them as well, the scoffers, that just take advantage of the situation. They just think everything's fine, that's just carry on, and take advantage of the earth. They do. And it's so unfair, because us, the people, humanity, the ones that are truthful to our earth, we just want to take care of it and just live our lives and just live in peace and harmony, as many billions of people do. We don't need terror attacks. We don't need this fear from the news media. We don't need those head games from the government changing their laws all the time at the Vatican. I mean, it's just control towards them. They just want control. They want to control us all the time, don't they? And we just want our freedom. We need our respect back. We want our calmness, our love and respect and care for each other. There's no point in being so bitter about each other. It's got to a point now that things like this now need to stop, because there's going to be a huge turning point to our earth, being the pole shift, that want to live in harmony for the rest of their days. They will be saved. They really will be saved, because the Lord will protect them. The Lord will take them to paradise. And there is paradise out there in the heavens. But the thing is, we sadly, there's been a lot of negativity that have ruined this world. They've caused a lot of corruption with it. And we just want peace, don't we? We really do. Anyway, I'm going to go now, okay? And I'll be back to do another video shortly. But, I mean, these images are very spectacular. But, again, there is something that the public need to know. And that is that these celestial heavenly bodies are incoming now. They are very close to our Earth. And the Earth has pole shifted before. Anyway, take care, respect to you all, and peace and love from Matt Rogers.
back in the 1950s, most people aren't aware of it, but there was a scientific storm in America all through the late 50s about this thing out there in space, because the astronomers were all watching it, and that was back when they weren't afraid to talk about it. It was in the science magazines. I mean, I had a subscription to, like, Popular Science, and hell, it was on the front cover of the magazine one day in, like, 1961. And I was really excited when I saw it, because here's this giant red planet on the horizon of the California coast, and a humongous tidal wave coming in towards the coast, and having grew up in the mountains of the Sierras, and this thing in the magazine, it said this tidal wave coming in was going to be at least 3 miles high, and I went in and showed it to everybody in the house, and they laughed, and they said, we live in a solar system. We've got 9 planets and a big sun. This is got 7 planets and its own sun. I think this one is just a big, bright, reddish orange iron ball, because it's giving off all this red iron oxide dust out into the atmosphere. At first, it was just a teeny little red speck of fuzzy red dust in the distance, but over the years, as it went by and we watched it, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then finally, about 2008, we could see this thing like it was across the street, and we could see that it was a blazing hot ball of fire, giving out sparkles of red iron oxide dust for thousands of miles in every direction. And you could see the planet circulating it. Now, I'll tell you one thing that I really am nervous about. I think this thing's got a planet like ours circling it. This is its own solar system. We're about to have a solar system come through the middle of our solar system. This can't be good. But unfortunately, it looks as though that's what's going to happen. Hopefully nothing in this mess will hit us, even though it does say it will in the Bible, at least as it does in my Bible. It says we can expect all kinds of problems. We were looking at asteroids. Right close to this thing, there's asteroids that are floating around right near that are orbiting the main sun itself. These things appear to be about 500 miles across. And as you go back into the tail, you get into meteorites that go back for millions of miles in the tail. This thing looks like a giant red teardrop-shaped dust cloud. And you can see, if you're able to see it up close like we did, you can see every speck out there. I guarantee you there's trillions of meteorites following this thing. Now, these CIA people that I know say that we're not going to be that close to it when it goes past us. They're saying that in order to attain breakaway speed, when it comes up around the backside of the sun, its speed will at least double, possibly more, which will put it here earlier than everybody is saying it will, and that this thing will probably be about 20 million miles from us when it crosses in front of us. And then as soon as it flips us upside down, we're going to go into its debris-filled tail and be pelted with meteorites. And, of course, in the Bible it says they will talon 70 pounds. So if you've got 70-pound meteorites falling like hail, and I can guarantee you they will be falling like hail because there are that many in the tail of this thing. This thing has got a tail loaded with trash. I mean, it's incredible the amount of stuff that's in this thing's tail. And we're going to go right through that tail, and if it doesn't beat everything on the surface of the ground into a flat putty, I don't know what it'll take. I tell everybody, you better be at least 20, 30, 40, 50 feet on the ground and have either concrete or stone above you, because it'll break through the roof of whatever you've got if you don't. These CIA guys told me that this pole shift will probably happen from start to finish in around 28 minutes. That doesn't give you a lot of warning. When you see that thing out there in the sky, you're going to have to run as fast as you can to your underground facility, because this is going to happen so fast. Now, see, here's another thing nobody's talking about. You've got this giant iron planet that they say is 47,000 miles across, getting ready to come up past us, and when it starts to approach us, it's going to start and have real serious effects.
So is it a planet or a failed star?
It's not a failed star. I saw this thing up close. It did not look like a failed star. It looked just like our sun.
Right.
Okay. Would you call our sun a failed star?
No. Okay. Well, you had said planet. I wasn't sure if it was like a failed star brown dwarf or a full sun. So it's a full sun?
It looks to me like a miniature sun, just like the one we have. The only difference is our sun is giving off flames and stuff, and this one's doing the same thing as it, but it's giving off this red iron oxide cloud of dust around it, and until it got close, it started to become more apparent that this thing is just orange hot. I mean, to tell how hot it is, I was told that they estimated between 5 and 10 million degrees, but, I don't really know, if that's right or not. I mean, it's got to be pretty hot because it's sending all of this red iron oxide dust out into space around it.
Right.
And it's got this enormous, and I mean enormous, at least 50 or 100,000 miles on each side of it, this red dust cloud that goes all the way around it. I know when we were watching it, as it started to make the upward swing to approach behind our sun, it was amazing. The red dust cloud settled down. Instead of being round, it started to settle down into a V, like wings, upside-down wings.
Right.
And I thought, boy, I wonder if that's where the ancient Sumerians got the idea this thing had wings, because, centrifugal force is a funny thing. When it comes back up around the planet, when we see it in the sky, my guess is it's going to look like it's got wings, because centrifugal force is going to be pulling the red iron oxide dust and particles out to one side, and then as it starts to climb out and go away from us, listen, I was told that this thing's magnetic field is going to be so strong, anybody that does not have a padded lead helmet to wear will have their brain gutted for everything they ever knew, and they'll be a complete raving moron after this thing passes. They won't know, they'll pee in their pants. They won't have a clue what's going on, because this thing will gut their brain. And I was reading a deal in my Bible. It says that after this happens, that nobody will care because they won't be able to remember it. Well, of course, I was told by somebody the reason that is because the electromagnetic field from this thing will be so strong, because, see, as it comes up underneath of us, it's going to start and pull us toward it. And then, just like a pair of big magnets, all of a sudden it's going to lock onto us. And when it does, it's going to be like the Jolly Green Giant hit the earth in the ass. It's going to send a jolt 500 to 1,000 foot high. This is what I'm told. 500 to 1,000 foot high shock waves all the way around planet Earth. They'll be so bad that in a lot of areas that don't have good solid soil, it'll fluff it so badly that you'll practically be like you're standing in quicksand. And that this thing's magnetic field will literally gut your brain of everything. And so you may want to give some thoughts to getting you some sheet lead, build you a little lead helmet to wear, like a little motorcycle helmet to protect your entire brain and the back of your neck, so that way this can't happen. Because, if these guys are right about this, and I'm pretty sure they are, because I know for a fact they know what they're talking about when they say stuff. And and it does sound reasonable to me, knowing what I do about electromagnetic energy, that this could happen. And it very easily could gut everybody's brain for everything they ever knew, and they'll stand there and pee in their pants and go, gee, what was that? And that's if they still know how to talk. And there won't be any doubt in anybody's mind, because this thing's going to look like a big red dragon, exactly like all the ancient Sumerians and the Chinese and all the rest of them that had documented this thing's passing before. It didn't look like a white ball or a snow cloud or nothing. It looked like a big red iron oxide dust cloud with a superheated star in the middle of it. And I mean, and that's what we've seen. So, I don't care what anybody else says. There's a possibility. There's more than one thing out there. I watched it through the Hubble Space Telescope, And when this thing looked like it was across the street, the Hubble got cut off, and they encrypted it, and that was the end of any transmissions we had to watch. And we know that the Hubble, in order to be in the shadow of the Earth, had to be at an angle, and so that meant it was looking downward. And this thing was coming up underneath of us. And I tell you the honest to God truth, I personally think this thing is real close to us right now. But that's just my general feeling that and I'm a pretty psychic guy. I have the feeling that this thing is right close by, and that we're going to see it any time. I mean, I've been doing everything I could do to get prepared for it. I'm really worried about what Jesus says. When the fig tree is putting on its leaves, know that summer is near, and I'm at your door. And that worries me more than probably anything I've read in the Bible about this whole thing, the parable of the fig tree, because everything seems to be in place for this thing's arrival. And the bad thing is, he says, I'm going to come like a thief in the night. Well, it does also say in the Bible that I'm going to make the sun go down at noontime in Jerusalem. Okay, if that's the case, there's only one thing that'll make the sun go down, not hit the horizon, go down at noontime, and that's if the planet experiences a pole shift.
Okay, I got a quick question that you can probably answer really quickly and then continue from the chat room. Wants to know if you're talking about Planet X or Elenin, and I don't think, I've never thought Elenin is Planet X. Cheryl's pretty stuck on that, but I think Elenin is a result of it. It's a comet that's been kicked in.
Elenin is extinction level event. Nibiru is near.
Right. Does
that explain it?
Yeah.
Okay, because listen, they've known about this thing forever. And I mean, they've known about it forever. I mean, if I read about it in a science magazine in 1961, that tells you that, I mean, it's only 1,800 years away. How could they not be able to see it when it came around the backside of the last sun and headed this way?
Right.
You have to know they've been watching it, because if Carl Sagan was showing stuff that they took with their old telescopes that was billions and billions of miles away, and this thing's only 1,800 years away. Well, and by 1930 it was only 70 years away. We do estimate that this thing, let me give you a thing, maybe you can figure out your own timeline. We estimated that this thing is traveling around 3,500 miles an hour, okay? That was our estimate of its speed. Now, it has been picking up speed, and that's the reason why we think it's going to arrive early, because when it comes around the backside of the sun, it's got to double that speed in order to attain breakaway speed to leave the sun and not wind up orbiting it. It's never orbited the sun in the past that we know of, so that means that it's going to have to attain breakaway speed to head back out into space. Now, you look at the NASA videos, photos, and all this other crap those morons put on the internet. This thing is coming in. It's going to, as soon as it goes around the top of the sun, it's going to go back out into space.
Right.
And it's going to do this really fast. When it goes past us, it's going to go past us so fast that we'll almost have no time to get ready. That's my opinion. But, just drawing it out on paper a few times and thinking about it, and I went, if this thing picks up enough speed to make breakaway speed, then that means it's going to come past us. This thing, according to what I was told, is that this thing is approximately 47,000 miles in diameter, 4 or 5 times the size of the Earth, and it'll come past us, and we won't have a lot of warning, and we won't get to see it in the sky until it's on us. I think the NASA timeline is completely off. I think this thing's going to arrive much earlier than they say it is. I know they're saying October, but, if you look at now, I was told that the poles are not shifting at 42 miles a year. They're shifting at 42 miles a day. And the reason is because this planet is rolling over to face this thing. Now, when it goes by, it's not going to push our North Pole away. It's going to grab our southern pole with its northern pole, and it's going to be like somebody kicked this planet in the ass. That earthquake that it talks about in Revelations, when the opening of the sixth seal comes, from what I've been told, that's very accurate, because that's exactly what's going to happen. There's going to be a massive earthquake when it locks onto us. As it goes past us, we're going to follow it right upside down. The oceans are just going to be roaring from pole to pole, as you could well guess they would, because if you take a planet that's 7,000 miles across and roll it upside down in 30 minutes, you're going to have some real serious problems with wind and water. We should be preparing to expect this thing to show up